This right here is a log that the beavers are coming in under to work up in this feed pile here. There's a lot of older white sticks that are chewed. Here's another white stick. But there's a bunch of white sticks up under there, and that hole goes up in under that bank. So I know that those beavers are using this from periods of time, and what I think it is a high water hole. It's supposed to warm up here in the next week, so I think this set may be good for us because there's a lot of snow on the ground, the water levels are going to rise, and those beaver are going to come back up and under here, and I know they're going to go under this log, and we got this Connie right here. What we did, took a 330, you can see our stabilizers right here, 1, 2, 3, and 4. The two end ones are through the outside hole, and these two middle ones are through the middle jaws to give us some more stabilization. You can use a Connie stabilizer, one of the ones you jam in the ground or whatever, but we use the sticks. It's very simple. I like doing that way, picking off the land and doing that. But it's a very simple set to make. I know the beavers are going to use this, and over time this set's going to take some beaver, especially when the water levels rise. That's one thing that you can do while you're on your trap lines. You pay attention to the signs that the animals are giving you. These beavers, this sign right here just tells me that this is a high water hole. This isn't a den. It's really not even a feed area at this point in time since we have a little lower waters. But this is a high water hole. And I know, I keep that in the back of my mind, make a note of it in my notebook, that when there's going to be high water, I need to get over to where this creek is, and I need to set this hole, because any beaver that's been through this area knows this hole's here, and they're going to come back to this hole when the water comes up to give them some shelter. That's one thing you can always do, whether it be mink trapping, muskrats, coon, fox, coyote, beaver. Pay attention to the signs that the animals are giving you, and if you really take notice, they're going to give you a lot of sign. And this is just one of those instances that I'm using the sign that they give me and remembering it in the back of my mind and coming over and making this set. And hopefully when the water comes up, those beaver haven't been caught somewhere else, because I know they're going to come back to this situation or this location when it comes that time. Oh yeah. Oh, boy, that's a big beaver. That is a big beaver. You can only fit his head in there. You got both paws in there too. Boy, that's a monster. Oh. Well, we made this set yesterday. We had some sign down on the big creek. This is a smaller tributary running into Susquehanna River. This feed hole up under here where I thought it wasn't, I was expecting it to be a high water hole where they were going to come up in here when the water came up in the river. They would come up in here for shelter, but obviously they were using this hole a lot more than I had anticipated. And we got ourselves a nice beaver here. That is a big beaver. Boy, that's a monster. Oh, that's a big beaver. Anyway, as I was saying yesterday, watch for your sign. Beavers and any animals in general, but beavers will give you a lot of sign. A lot of white sticks. You know, this feed hole here goes up under there. This isn't a den. This beaver was going in the hole. They're just using this to come in for a little shelter and feeding on. But as you can see, these sets are deadly. When you find these situations, don't pass them up. I'll be surprised if we don't catch one or two more here. Seeing that the first night we caught one, they may be using this more. And every beaver that comes through here knows this hole's here. So, I'm excited. That's a big beaver. I don't like skinning these things, but I ain't gonna mind skinning this one tonight. That's a blanket right there. That is a big beaver.
We're looking it over. There's a lot of white sticks in here. You can see them. We went up the stream about 100 yards. We didn't find anything there. We went down about 100, and there's like a couple old holes here. So we're going to try one. This one here, if you feel it with your feet, the bottom of it's packed down pretty good. So we have a feeling if he's not staying here, he's going in and out of here. So what we're going to do, we're just going to make one set in here. We're going to put in a conibear, a 330, and wire it off. There's a big stick right here. We can wire it too. We don't need a lot of wire. But what we're going to do, in case he isn't in this hole, before we leave, we're going to put a little lure right here around the set. And if he is going up or down the stream, chances are he is going to go in this hole once he smells the lure. There's your Connie. That'll be set right down in the hole. It's just a perfect. We don't even have to barricade it. And we'll set it in there, wire it off right here. Put a little lure there, and see if there's a beaver moving up and down the stream. I mean, that's just perfect. Just in there, perfect. After you get it sit in there where you want it, you use some sticks to barricade, to sturdy it up. Remembering to take off your latches on the jaws. And this is pretty soft mud here. You just put that down between the jaw, the two sides of the jaw, and go to wiggle the trap, and it's really sturdy. And we'll do one on the other side the same way. Notice we didn't get in the bank, we didn't get in the snow, we left no sign here. We walked up the creek about 50 yards. There's no sign that we were in here at all. So finish it up, put the lure on it, come back tomorrow and see if he moved around tonight. Oh, we got him. Set this yesterday, and evidently he was in the hole because we got him coming out. Now, when we first came in here, we thought there might only be maybe one or not very many because there's not a lot of cutting. But as we look around here, we have a beaver track right here on the bank by the hole. So there's another one in here somewhere, and he may be in the hole. We're not sure now. So we'll remake this, leave it go for a couple nights, and see if we can get the mate to this one. Well, we're going to reset this one, put it back in there for one night, see what happens. Again, being careful when you set these, you keep these spring locks on, because they will give you a jolt. Now we put the set back in, put a couple cross pulls from the jaw to the corner of the trap. That helps stabilize it. So we'll see what happens tonight. Got one last night, we'll try for the other one tonight.
Email us today for a free catalog to browse all of our traps and snares, baits and lures, and much more. Get all of your trapping and predation control needs by emailing to info@NorthAmericanTrapper.com for your free catalog. Proven products equals proven conservation.
There's beaver sign all the way up and down along here. I've had 2 scent mounds in here for about 4 or 5 days now. And the first night, the trap was off. I don't think I pinched the beaver, but what I think I got him under the underfoot, and I may have educated him. So those 2 sets are down around this turn, and I see some cutting in here in the little back eddies here the last 3 or 4 nights. So I know they're coming in here, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a set where no lure, no scent mound, and I'm gonna use bait only. Call this a bait set. This is a set that we've taken a lot of beaver in over the years when we've felt that they were maybe trap or lure shy. We've used a bait set and we have a good success with that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you the construction of that, and we'll go from there. First, I'm going to get all my materials together, my drowning bag, my wire, my trap, and my stake, and then I'll come back and do the construction of the set. Now that we got our bag full of the rocks, got our wire all set up, got our trap and our Berkshire disposable stake in the ground for our upper anchor, I'm gonna just throw this bag here out into the deep water. Whoa. All right. Now we got our drowning bag. Got our drowning bag out there, and what I've done here, if you can see, is I've cut a little eddy out. I've cut a little eddy out, and I'm gonna take my bait sticks, and I'm gonna put these sticks in here. I'm gonna chew them up a little bit with my hatchet, but I'm gonna have these sticks in here just like that, with the bottoms, you know, chewed up a little bit to have a little cast off on the white. And what that's going to do is just give me eye appeal for this beaver. So if any beaver come up out of this bigger river up into this smaller tributary, they're going to see these white sticks, come over to investigate, maybe think that it's a free meal, have a little smorgasbord here with their trees. But that's how we're going to just make this set. It's very simple. The bag, like I said, the wire, the trap, the stake for the upper anchor, and our bait, and that's all it's going to be. There's going to be no lure, no big eye appeal like where they're out on the bank or whatever, but we're just going to use these trees as our only lure, which is not really lure, it's just more or less eye appeal. So I'm just going to shade these trees up a little. You can see how white that gets them, makes them look like a fresh chewed stick from a beaver. Get that one. There's another one. Doesn't take much. You don't have to be perfect. Just get that bark off. Get it whitened up so they'll be able to see it if they come up in here. Here's a little bigger one. Another thing I'd like to say with this, don't use too small a stick. It doesn't matter, you know, you don't have to use a 5-inch tree or whatever, but a nice stick, maybe quarter size, you know, nickel to quarter size, that's plenty big enough. Because that's the kind of sticks they're going to eat anyway. You see where they chew on bigger trees and stuff, but if they have the opportunity, they're going to cake them smaller sticks. They're easier to chew off, get them down, and they're easier to scrape the bark off of those trees. So you want to have something that not only is inviting to the beaver taste-wise, but you want to have something that's easy for him also. I'm just going to take these sticks, put them one by one right into this corner, or this little eddy I cut out. Now there's still a lot of good fresh bait on there that those beavers can chew on, and they'll be able to tell that too. Maybe put a couple to where you don't have to have all the white facing straight out either. You may turn this one where the white's facing up the stream, so it may catch it out of the corner of his eye, or this one over here turn this way if he's coming up this way and catch it out of the corner of his eye. But once those sticks are in there, I like to, you see how they're a little flimsy? The sticks are a little flimsy, so what I like to do, cut that piece of wire off, I'll take my wire and I'll wrap it around these trees nice and loose. They don't have to be tight. But what that does now is give me some stability to keep those in there. Now they're all going to stay in that one group right there. That's just a little thing that you can do, and that'll keep them in place. And if there's any beaver coming up through this little waterway here, they're going to see that and come over. Now just trap placement. I'm just going to place my trap here. As I've probably said many times before, I like to set for a front foot. So I'm going to get my trap right up there about as close as I can to that. Get that good set for the front foot to where he's going to come up. Right there, come up and take a peek, get him in a front foot. if I do happen to catch him in a back foot, I do have the drowning bag deep enough in the water to where I know he won't be able to get some air. And that's one big thing you have to always remember. Make sure that drowning bag is deep enough. You don't want to come and have a live beaver, because more often than not, if you have a live beaver, they're not going to be here. They're going to twist off. That set right there is pretty much done now. It's very simple setup, very quick to put in. You can put these sets in less than 5 minutes. And this set's going to take a beaver for us. I know, there's no doubt in my mind that if one comes up by here, he's going to come check this bait out. We got a good eye appeal, we got good sticks, and I'm pretty excited. Hopefully we'll have one here tomorrow to show you.
What we did, we put a grounding wire on each side up. So we're going to hook 2 sets to this cement block. It's pretty deep right here. So I'll throw this out, and then I'll show you how we hook the traps on. We make 2 scent mounds, and that should pretty much get those 2 big beaver that are in here. I used 2 traps at each drowning set. I had one time it didn't work for me. I missed the beaver with it. But I probably had at least 3 doubles, where if they get in the one trap, if they get in the trap that's a chain lower on the wire, they'll go down, another beaver comes out, you can have 2. I think we've done that between my son and I at least 5 times already. So I'll put these on, and on each of these traps, you can see the drowning lock, and when they go down the wire, they cannot come back up. And these traps are pre-adjusted, filed we check them every year. We always keep our pan down below the jaw. Now, beaver is probably not as important for fox as it is for fox, but you want them down, you want them between the jaw. When they go off, you have it. So there's one of them. Here's one with a short chain. And you just grab anything that's nearby, make a scent mound right on the bank. What we usually do, we get a couple sticks that are freshly chewed. We put them right around the scent mound. Some people like big scent mounds. I don't make mine real big, but they all work. And for open water, you can't beat this set. I mean, if they're there and they're not scared and you don't have anybody else working them and they missed them or pinched them, this is a definite. I put the long one on first. And that'll reach to the one side of the scent mound. I keep the wire off to the side, and when I put the short one on, that's on the other side. That doesn't have to reach as far. I use metal stakes to tie them off. Pound them in. Wire it right off. And you want your wire tight. You don't want any kinks or anything in it. So when they go down the wire, they'll slide right down. Any kinks or anything, they can get caught in it. And then they could get away if they don't drown. Set the other 2 on the other wire. Make another scent mound, then we'll re-lure it. Put lure on them and see what happens. They're only like 4 or 5 feet apart, but because both wires are fastened to the bank by the stakes, there's no way they're going to interfere with one another, these sets. After you get the wires hooked up, you want to make sure your traps are bedded properly, because if they aren't, they could come in and tip them, set it off, then you get hair in the belly or something. So now we'll doctor them up with some more. With the lure, now what we're going to do is wire them off to something solid. So the stakes won't pull out, but if they would, then we still have hooked to something solid. I'm going to doctor these up a little bit. and then we'll show them to you. They're starting to clear up now, and you can see with the trap placement. And I'm going to put some guide sticks in. And you'll be able to see the guide sticks after the set is done. You can see I just finished up the set. I put guide sticks on both sides, sort of funnel them into it. That always seems to work pretty well. We have a set here and a set on the other side of those ones in the middle. So hopefully tomorrow we'll be able to have some on camera for you.
We got this little channel feeder stream here, working off of this creek here. It's a Bald Eagle Creek, which also runs into the Susquehanna River here in north central Pennsylvania. And you know, the water's been really high, and you can't really make a lot of good sets because the water's up into the brushy areas, and you can't get down to the stream bed. So there's these little feeder streams which basically are dry most of the time, but there's a little bit of water in them. All we did here is made a set mount right here. We got our set mount here with a little eye appeal, a little bit of lure on it, and we barricade this channel off, and there's our prize. Nice beaver. About probably another 30-35 pound adult. We got, so you know, I think there's probably a pair here. We saw a little cutting. There's a bunch of sticks. He was feeding down through here along this edge right here, but what we're gonna do is just remake this set and you know, maybe re-lure it a little bit and see if we can draw that other one up in here. But you know, these sets are deadly. These conibears, these 330 conibears, well, they hit them, they're done. And it's a very, very good way to take beaver with these. This is always a good set for us. We've been using these sets for about 20 years, as long as I can remember, as long as I've been trapping. And you put a lure above conibear and draw them up through that conibear, and as you can see, the results are good. So we're gonna get this out of here, remake it, and hopefully we'll have some more down the road.
Here are the two we got in the set that we just pulled on the other side. We have them right here laying in the snow. This one's probably, this is at least a 30 pound plus. We guesstimate this one's probably 30-32. We do weigh all of them. And the other one's a little bigger than that one. This one's probably 37-38 pounds we're estimating right now. Pulling this one out now, you can see I have two traps on the same wire. And what happened in the set with these two beavers, we got him on the long chain first. He went down to the block. The other one come out later, got caught in the upper trap, the shorter chain. He went down. So they were both down at the block. Both of them drowned. So as you can see, these doubles do work occasionally. Most of the time you're going to have one beaver. Very seldom do we miss one, and they do work. This is probably about the 6th time that we had doubles in these. You get two beaver same night, and that's a lot of fun. That's really exciting when you go in and you have two in your set.
Email us today for a free catalog to browse all of our traps and snares, baits and lures, and much more. Get all of your trapping and predation control needs by emailing to info@NorthAmericanTrapper.com for your free catalog. Proven products equals proven conservation.
Jumped the buck up here in some of the water birch there along the stream, and he swam across the creek and went down the other side. And when we were in here trapping before, we pinched this beaver. And later the creek iced up and you couldn't get near it. It finally broke loose here about a week or so ago. The creek dropped, we come in, and this is the second night that this set was here. Night before last, he come up on the bank. This goes down to a point. He come up on the bank on the other side, and I don't know if he didn't smell the quaking aspen or he just didn't want to come around to it. But last night he come around the point and he come up, and we just had a bait set here. We pinched him with lure at a set, so we decided to put in just a bait set and see what that would do, and second night we caught him. This was probably 40 pound beaver or so. got him by a back foot. He got down the wire quite a ways, but he did twist up a little bit, but he was deep enough that he drowned. So we got the two in here that we were after. We got the pair of big ones. There's some little ones here, like we always do. If we get the big ones, we're just going to pull out. Pull the set. I'm going to take him out of the trap, and we're just going to move out of here, and we'll have places to trap in future years.
I'm getting in here a little late today. It's almost dark. I had some stuff I had to do today, but I have a set about 150 yards up the stream, and the trap was off down at the bag. I must have got one under the underbelly. And as we were walking down along the bank here about the last 100 yards, there's a scent mound about every 15, 20 feet. So I kind of figured that I'd have some action at this set. And you'll see here as I pull up on this, got another big adult beaver here. That's a monster right there, buddy. That thing is huge. Let me get him out of the trap. Yeah. That is a big beaver right here, buddy. Oh, I'll tell you, that is, we've been catching beaver the last couple days, and I've been saying, oh, that looks like a 30, 35 pound beaver. Those beaver have been weighing 44, 46, 49 pounds. This one here is a brute. That is an absolute brute. Look at the head on that thing. That thing is just huge. That is one big beaver right there. Anyway, this place is turning in to be our best place. I thought maybe there was one or two adult beaver here working that far edge, but you know, we got this one now, we got another big one up there, and another one that was a kit, a yearling, kit this year. So there must be, you know, some maybe 10, 12, 14 beaver up along this edge in about a quarter-mile space. As you can see, these sets are deadly. These Castor mounts take these beaver in the open water situations, and you know, that's a nice beaver right there. That'll be a super blanket. I'm just gonna do this remake right here. There we go. Remember, you want to keep that wire taut so they go right down the bag. Get it in there properly, and we're ready to go. That's all it takes.
We put some bait through here previously before we made this set, and the beaver come in and took the bait and gnawed it off right there at the bottom level of the ice, so we know there's a couple in here yet. So we'll clean this out and see if we did anything in here. Well, this is a surprise. We didn't know about this. So we'll take him out, and we're going to pull out of here now. We don't want to get any more of those young ones. But there must be probably a pair of big ones and probably 3 or 4 little ones in here anyhow. So this would be a good spot next year. Here's a stick we had in there. Now, we chopped some of this up, but you can see where they've been chewing on the corner of it, the edge of it. You just put that in there and put the Connie in front of it. There is a hole here, but if they'd come over, that bait would definitely get them in through the conibear. We didn't really think there was little ones in here, but really don't want to catch any more of them right now. So we're going to move out of here and probably be nobody else trapping in here, so they'll be here next year for sure.
The bait set worked. We made this set 4 days ago. Only bait. Didn't catch a beaver and 2 scent mounds down here. And I was thinking, you know, there's the beaver's still around here. So I wanted to put this bait set in, and it connected on the 4th day. So, I mean, I'm excited. No lure, no smell whatsoever, just basically on sight appeal. And we got this beaver at the bottom of the bag. Let's take a look at him. That's a big beaver. That is a nice beaver right there. Front foot catch. I always set for the front feet. Sometimes you do get them in the back feet, but these traps are strong enough to hold them. He's got his whole front foot in it. Number 3 Duke doing the job again. Boy, that is a nice beaver right there. That's got to weigh 50 pounds. Good 50-pound beaver right there. That'll be a nice blanket for us. Getting back to the set, as I showed you on the tape, this is a very easy constructed set. Bag wire trap, upper anchor with a Berkshire stake, and all I did was shave off these little saplings here, give it a little eye appeal, and that beaver worked right in here. So you don't always need lure, and you don't always need to have the set out there that you think is, you know, can be smelled from a mile away, because a lot of times, even though beaver don't see that well, they will see that white sticks. And you know, another thing they will do, they will smell that bark. And I don't know, I'm excited. That's a big beaver right there.
North American Trapper Predation Packages. Get any one of our specific trapping packages that has been ultimately designed to help you become the master predation controller of your farm, ranch, or hunting lease. Control the predators that are costing you time and money, and get out there trapping today with one of our North American Trapper Predation boxes. All of the packages come with the trapping essentials to get you out in the field, plus an instructional DVD that will show you the way. Visit us at NorthAmericanTrapper.com and start breaking dirt today.